Hello, functional family. This is Dr. Z, and we are going to go on a little journey through Cronometer to understand what all of this information and what all these different categories means, because it's a lot of stuff on here. I'm just going to go through some of the real highlights that I want you to pay attention to. And I want you to continue to enter all your food in Cronometer. You should be about 1 week into it, but just keep adding it and compiling it, and that way we can go through it and we can really start to figure out what foods we need to improve upon, or what supplements we have to use, just things like that. So this is just such a valuable tool. It's free and it's a great way to really help with your health. So let's jump right into Cronometer here. So over here where it says water, I want you to click on water settings. And I want you to go right here where it says daily drinking water goals. And I just want you to change it to half of your body weight. So change it. So for instance, if I weigh 180, so I'd have to have 90 ounces of water to be half my body weight. So let me go ahead and change that. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go for a little over that. So I'm going to go for 96. Okay, so once I have that set, I go back to diary, and it should have it down here under 96 ounces is what I want to accomplish every day. And so that's what I'm going to put on my goal. And I'll just add, as I drink my water throughout the day, I'll add my water. Let's go down next to targets here where it says energy, protein, net carbohydrates, and fat. So there's certain ratios that I want to make sure that we have for each one of those. So I want you to go over, and we're going to go over to where it says, we're going to go down to where it says more, click on targets and profile. And then what should pop up is the very beginning should be where it says ratios here. So this is macro target ratios. So we want our protein to be roughly around 15, 16. We want our fats to be similar, right around 15, 16, and then carbohydrates will fill in the rest. So the way you do that is you just click here to take away proteins or add proteins. So just click it until the protein is around 16, fats are around 16, I should say 15. Try to have those as close to 15 as possible. Then your carbohydrates will fill in with the rest of that. Okay, and so that's number 2 thing that you're going to work on and set up. And so that'll just keep all your ratios correctly and show you how much you should have based on your calories. So this expenditure here is based on the information you put in about your weight and height and your activity levels. That builds in this thing called basal metabolic rate. That's just how many calories you burn when you're resting. And then if you put in moderate activity, which I did, this gives you baseline activity of about 33% increased calorie burn because of your activity level. So those are just things to put in. And I also want you to go over, and we're going to talk about losing weight or gaining weight. So if we go back down to targets and profile, click on this, and then what you're going to look for here is weight goal. Okay, so for instance, I weigh about 184 pounds. If I want to lose weight, I just click on my update, and I'll type in the weight. Let's say I want to go 175, and I hit next. And so this is going to tell me what is my goal forecast? What date do I want to have that? And I can go in and I can change that. It's recommending, if I lose 0.25 pounds per week, I'll hit my goal by May 31st. So I can change that and it'll change my goal. So if I lose 0.5 pounds per week, it's January 25th. And 1 pound per week is the maximum you should put in there. So you can change that. Realistically, 1 pound, it's fairly difficult to hit that, but it's doable. It takes out about 500 calories per day. So just go ahead and pick anywhere from -1 and go to, I think the lowest will go is 2.25. So just go ahead and pick that and apply that. And that'll set your weight time goal. And then go back to diary. So that's going to also change how many calories you have remaining, because I've eliminated some calories to lose weight. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go down to We're going to go down to sugars here, and I want you, actually, we're going to go to fiber first. And if I hover over any of these categories or any of these, in this case, macronutrients, if I hover over any of them, it'll actually tell me a description. So fibers are chains and branches of sugar like linked together in a way that you can't digest. So these types of carbohydrates provide little energy. Instead, they pass through the digestive system without being broken down. They hold onto water, which helps you feel full and regulates bowel movements. And it is important to drink lots of water as you increase your fiber intake. So fiber is really important. That I want you, and I want you to observe how much fiber you take in, and just keep note of that. So what Cronometer gives you is your daily target is around 30. And that's probably for the women. I want you to keep it at 30. For men, I want you to increase it to 38. Okay, so it's important to get fiber because that does help you move a lot of toxins through your bowel system to keep you healthy. And sugars too, we want to minimize sugars. And there's no daily targeted, but I want to make sure you keep under 20 grams. So go ahead and put 20 grams in here, and then and try to keep your sugars under that. Next thing I want you to work on is omega-3s, or take note under fats. I want you to focus on omega-3s. These are really important because this balances out the ratio between omega-3s and omega-6s, which is an important ratio. It's really good to have a 1-to-1 ratio. So for omega-3s, the recommended is 1.6. So I need you to make sure you're getting at least 1.6 grams per day. And we can change that through supplementation, or if we hover over that, you can see if you just have flax or chia seeds or just eat fish, those will dramatically increase omega-3s. You just can't eat fish every day. So, but if you put a little flaxseed into like a protein drink or into a smoothie, that's an easy way to get it. Like two tablespoons or teaspoons of flax will get you the full amount of omega-3s you need. So make sure that you're getting your omega-3s. Down here in proteins, this is all of your proteins that you need throughout the day. So you do need to hit 100% of these throughout the day. It's important to get the proteins, especially if you want to maintain muscle mass or build muscle. Also, tryptophan is really important too. Tryptophan helps with the hormones serotonin and melatonin, and these hormones are really important to maintain, to help you become drowsy, to go to sleep. Also, just to maintain serotonin is a mood stabilizer, so it's really important. And then we have tyrosine, which helps the production of a couple important things called dopamine and epinephrine, which is really important to what helps with focus and movement and heart rate and emotional responses. So we just want to make sure we hit all our proteins, but tryptophan and tyrosine are really important. Leucine is probably the most important for building muscle mass. We just want to make sure that we have, and I think they have 3.5 grams, which is perfect. That's exactly what you should shoot for. So the B vitamins, we're moving next to vitamins. And so the B vitamins are really super helpful. Actually, they not only helpful, but they're needed for your body to produce energy, for your nervous system, to keep your nervous system functioning smoothly, to help build red blood cells, and just to help your overall metabolism. They also help your DNA for cell repair, and they also help with stress too, with your stress responses. So it's important that you get your Bs, and for, B6, B12, and B6, B12, and folate. These all need to be methylated. That's a methyl group that's added to each one of these. So when we're buying our vitamins, we want to make sure we have methylated vitamins, and that'll say it right on the title of it. So, and we can talk about that a little bit more. So we're moving now to minerals. The ones I want us to focus on are going to be, calcium is one I want to talk about. So calcium, the recommended that daily target that that is put in by Cronometer is 1,000 milligrams. So this is an okay target. You can go as low as 750 would be okay. The maximum threshold of 2,000, that's a little bit on the high side. So in European countries, they shoot for a maximum of about 750 milligrams. So just know that we're shooting for a little less than 1,000, 750 to 1,000 a day. And we're not trying to supplement with calcium to get that amount. We're trying to really do it with our food intake. Magnesium is super important. We want to make sure we have that, and I recommend that you take magnesium right before you go to bed. That really helps calm the nervous system down and your body down for sleep. Also, I want to make sure that we're getting potassium. Potassium is a really important electrolyte, and so is magnesium. So in the mineral categories, we're going to put a focus on calcium, magnesium, and potassium. Those are the things we're going to focus on. So let's do a quick review. So for carbohydrates, we want to make sure we keep our eye on fiber, and we're hitting at least, you gals are hitting 30, guys, you're trying to get close to 40. Sugars, we want to keep that below 20 grams of sugar. Also, we want to make sure our omega-6s, we're hitting those goals. And moving down to proteins, we want to hit all the protein goals, especially leucine for building muscle mass, also tryptophan and tyrosine for our hormones. And then up here, we want to make sure we hit our B vitamins, and we want to make sure we have methylated vitamins. So the B6 and B12 and the folate will be methylated. But we want to make sure we're focusing on our Bs. And then in the minerals, it's going to be the calcium, magnesium, and potassium. We're hitting our targeted goals there. Okay, so that covers just hitting targets, and that focuses on our ratios of our protein and carbohydrates and fats, and our energy expenditure, and we also have weight loss built into that. That's a lot for Cronometer. That's a lot to work on. So I'm going to end it with just one thing here. So if we hit nutritional report, this is important that you know how to get to this. So what's happening, it's taking the last 7 days that you entered Cronometer, and you can actually make it all days. You can go up to 2 weeks or a month or whatever, but at least make it the last 7 days. And that's going to give you all of your information for the whole week of all of your results for your carbohydrates and your proteins and your fats and your minerals and everything. So this is what we're shooting for. We're shooting for this report, and we're trying to figure out what your trend is for all the different categories. So I know it's kind of a lot to put all your food in and to try to keep track of all of it, but it's just, this is such a powerful tool, and it's going to really guide and direct us what we need to do for your nutrition, and also what we're going to need to do for supplementation. So please focus on that. Oh, and shoot, how about that? I want to add one other thing too. So there's this thing down here called Sync a Device. So if you click on that, if you own any of these, I do want you to try to sync your watch or your device to Cronometer. So for instance, I have Apple Health and I wear an Apple Watch. So I can go ahead, and I've already done this. I've synced Cronometer and my watch together. So all my steps are recorded on Cronometer. All my exercises and activities are stored on Cronometer, and that changes how many calories I burn, and I don't have to add it in. So if you just go ahead and you sync and just follow the directions here, you can sync your device to Cronometer. Super helpful. Okay, I promise this is it. But please work on Cronometer, work on all these tools that are here, and keep recording your food, and we're going to get some great information. It's going to really guide and direct us to get you where you want to be on your health journey. Have a blessed day, and I will talk to you soon.